Good morning everyone and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Kerry and today we are doing another full house clean. This one is a little bit more of a panic clean, let's call it. I have the loft people out once again tomorrow. This is their fourth attempt to get my loft re-insulated and boarded, so I'm really hoping they actually turn up this time. But the house is in a complete state. I have just had a week off from work and the house has not survived very well. I did a big clean last week, the end of the week before my week off. And I did a big clean and I was really hoping that I would be able to get the kitchen revamp done alongside picking up the house. No, no. In fact, I didn't even get the kitchen revamp done. That's a bit of a story. Let's get into it. So, I began the kitchen revamp as expected on the first day of my holiday from work. And I went straight in and got the painting done first thing. That's where I usually start. I used the same colour that I usually have in the rest of my house and love in the rest of my house. However, in my kitchen I did not love it. It was too warm. It didn't sit right with the rest of the items that I had picked out for the kitchen. So I ended up writing that day off, and the next day I went out to B&M and I picked up some more paint in a kind of off-white, a kind of soft white colour, almost like double cream or talc, something like that kind of off-white. And it was perfect. Went on the wall beautifully actually. Only took 2 coats in the end, and it's a really gorgeous colour. However, I basically have painted the kitchen back to the colour that it originally was. It looks no different on camera, but it does look different when you're there. It looks softer, warmer, but on camera, yeah, it looks white like it was before. So that was my first little dilemma. So I then went to cover my tiles. We don't have permission to remove the tiles or to change the grout from the housing association, but we can use some kind of cover on them as long as we take the cover off ourselves and repair any damage to the tiles or clean up any sticky residue if we're using peel and stick tiles. Now, I didn't want to use peel and stick tiles because I know how much of a mess that they leave behind. So I managed to find this kind of blown plastic paneling covers things that you stick on with like silicone. You stick them onto the tiles, and I thought that's going to be a much easier clean up because I've got a glass scraper that I can just use to remove that silicone afterwards. So that seemed like the perfect thing. So I ordered them, about 50 quid it was, for 6 panels, which would have been just enough to do my kitchen. And so I started to put them on the wall, and they would not stay on the wall. They would not stay on the wall with silicone. They would not stay on the wall with no more nails. And they would not stay on the wall with any kind of double-sided sticky tape, even the heavy-duty carpet tape I tried using. And these things would not stay on the wall. Not only that, they would not join properly together seamlessly. So you could really see where the seams were. And I just got completely fed up with this, along with the thought that actually, you know, these are probably a little bit of a fire hazard, being plastic. The ones that are by the cooker, are they going to melt? Like, there's nothing on the box that says they are kind of heat resistant. So I thought, okay, we're going to abandon the idea of those tiles. So then I'm back to square one, basically. I've got no tile covers. The wall is pretty much the same colour that it was, and the beautiful oak effect shelves that I bought that cost me an absolute fortune, I can't put up because I've basically got spaghetti junction of wires behind the wall. So yeah, I spent my whole week doing absolutely nothing in the kitchen and being really stressed out, and it threw me into a kind of mini depression wave. I couldn't focus on anything else because when I have plans in my mind and those plans don't happen, I can't do anything. Like, my brain will not let me do anything. And so I was sitting there all week thinking, oh, I should be doing the kitchen, I should be doing the kitchen, I should be doing the kitchen, I should be doing the kitchen. And I couldn't do the kitchen because I then had to save up for some more things to cover the tiles and things like that so that I could progress with it. Now, at the time of recording this voiceover, I have now ordered some tiles that are unfortunately peel and stick. So I am going to prepare the tiles underneath with a layer of like the clear book covering film. It's sticky back still, but it's not going to leave as harsh of a residue as the sticky back tiles will. So I'm going to cover the tiles with that clear stuff first, and then I'm going to stick the tiles to the clear stuff, and hopefully, although it will still be a bit of a mess to clean up at the end of it, it won't be as bad as the residue that is left by the peel and stick tiles. So in this video you're going to see very much an unchanged kitchen. You are not going to notice a single difference, I don't think. But in fact the walls have been painted twice, and I do like the white I do. It's Jasmine White by Dulux. But I did make a bit of a mess up. I got frustrated because it looks the same on video. And I poured the paint from the tray back into the paint pot to do with another day. Well, Kerry was doing it at night by the light, the artificial light, and Kerry didn't realise that the paint that she poured back into the Jasmine White was actually the natural Hessian that I was using the day before, and not the Jasmine White. So my Jasmine White now has a hint of natural Hessian. I've used one of those drill mixer things, and I've mixed it in, and it's actually a really nice colour. It barely changed it, which I'm very, very happy about. But if I do go over the kitchen again, I will need to get a new pot of the Jasmine White in order to keep that colour the same. And in the meantime, I'm going to use the alternate Jasmine White to do probably the stairs and landing when it comes time to do that. So it's been a bit of a roller coaster of a week, and that's the reason why the house has gotten the way it has. I have been frustrated, I have been depressed. Everything that I have tried to do this week has blown up in my face, and now I'm sad because I've reached the end of my lovely week off from work and I have to go back to work. Now, my job is not the most terrible job in the world, but it's also not the most fun job in the world. It's very repetitive, it's very boring. We've had a new company take over, and it's incredibly frustrating and stressful while they figure out how they want things done, and they've also asked me to go up to full time. Now, going up to full time was something that I was thinking about asking them for anyway, so I'm not angry about it or anything like that. In fact, I'm quite excited about it. But I am a little bit scared of how that's going to work with everything else that I'm trying to do. Any of you who are new here will not know, but I am a single mum with 3 youngsters, not little kids, but kind of teens and young adults at home. And I now have to be working full time, picking up the house kind of part-time, and I'm making videos for YouTube as much as I possibly can because I enjoy doing it, but also so that one day I can leave my job. I would like for this to be my job. So I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to juggle all of this because that's a lot to ask of one person. It really is a lot to ask of one person. Even the housework some days is a full-time job. And today when I was filming this, it did take me 4 or 5 hours to get through everything because it was so bad. So I am a little bit concerned about how I'm going to do that when I'm working full-time as well. But my full-time hours are on a trial basis. I have discussed this with my boss already. It's on a trial basis. If I can't manage, I will reduce them either back down to part-time or to something around the lines of kind of 6 hours a day rather than 4. So I'm up a little bit, but I'm not there all day long. And we'll find a solution that works for everybody. But yeah, I'm a little bit stressed trying to figure out how I'm going to manage it all. I've kind of given myself a new routine, a new bedtime, a new wake up time, and I've kind of listed how I'd like my day to kind of run roughly so that I can still have time to do everything that I need to do, but still have some time for me as well. And I will still have 2 days off over the weekend where I can film and have some downtime. So it's not all bad, it's just a little bit scary, and I've got this new routine to get into, which is going to throw all the other routines that I have completely out of the window. but you know, sometimes it's nice just to change it up a little bit. So yeah, got all that going on very, very soon as well. So I'm trying to get ahead with some videos too, so that you guys aren't left without any. And today I thought this place needs a good old clean. Okay, so a little bit of a break for this week's little, again, it's another top-up food shop. I've still got loads in the chest freezer, that's why I'm just doing kind of top-ups as opposed to like big food hauls. But anyway, I thought I'd just stop and show you this because I like a little food haul. So I've got a couple of loaves of white bread. One will stay out, one will go into the freezer, and that's about what we get through in a week bread wise. I've got a couple of jars of creamy tomato and herb pasta bake sauce. I've got 2 of the Blue Dragon satay stir fry sauce and 2 of the Blue Dragon sweet chili and garlic stir fry sauce. These are always really handy to have in the cupboard for like a quick dinner if I get a little bit behind. They're nice and easy, throw it all in a wok and you're done. I've got some baking potatoes. I risked it this week because I really don't like the pre-made potatoes. They're looking okay. There's a couple of, you see what I mean? You just can't get decent potatoes. That will probably go most of the way through. But I will use these for roast potatoes today with our roast dinner. A couple of packets of cheap spaghetti, nothing special there. Some light brown soft sugar because I'm making some cookies. Some honey. A couple of bottles of Fanta. We had enough left in the budget this week that we could each choose a treat. My son chose the Fanta. I've got a bottle of Fanta for myself. I'll show you the other bits in a minute. I've got a couple of packs of protein noodles for either the satay or the chili. Some Frankfurter sausages to go in the pasta bake with the sauce. Some chopped nuts. So these are going to go with the honey and the Greek style yogurt, one of my favourite little summertime breakfasts. I've got some more water filter cartridges for my water filter, a couple of jugs of milk. My eldest daughter chose the vanilla popcorn as her treat this week. These, if you guys haven't tried them, taste like the Rice Krispie squares. But I think with it being popcorn, it might be a little less in the way of calories, but it's still naughty. So eat in moderation. I've got some more cheese, just a basic mature cheddar. I've got a couple of bags of the cooked chicken slices. I don't like handling raw chicken, I just don't. So I tend to buy these for quick dinners. So one of these will go in with the noodles and one of the sauces and some kind of fresh veggies and make a dinner. I've got some corn pieces. These are the attacker snacks for Isabel's lunch this week. And then to kind of top up the chest freezer, I'm going to keep one of these out for this week. And then 2 of those will go into the chest freezer for another time. So that is my little weekly shop this week. So moving on with the clean as we're going, I'm now finishing up in the kitchen. I don't know if you guys even noticed a difference on that white wall. I know you can't see it in this particular clip, but if you go back to where I was doing the washing up and that, you can kind of just about tell that it's not the same white. Because of the filter that I need to use on my video footage, the house looks very bright in the footage. That's because I've got a filter on it. The house is actually really quite dim, and so it does look a little whiter on camera than it does in real life. But yeah, you might be able to tell. I don't know, I can tell, and it's okay for me. I'm just a little bit scared, you know, that when these tiles that I've ordered arrive tomorrow, that the paint colour might not go with those. I'll have to go and get a third paint. But I do really like the jasmine white, and I do really like the altered jasmine white. So I think I can use them around the house in other places. So they're not going to go to waste, at least. It just means that this kind of budget kitchen revamp is no longer a budget kitchen revamp. I mean, the tiles that I didn't use cost me nearly £50. The shelves that I now can't put up have cost me another £90. You know, it's getting a little bit out of hand if I'm buying £30, £40 pots of paint every 5 minutes as well to try and find one that works. I might just go grab a few testers in the kind of colour range that I'm looking at, and I might take one of the tiles to B&M with me so that I can actually have a look and kind of hold them up against each other and see how that goes. So I've had a little bit of a lunch and a bit of a break now, and I'm upstairs and I'm going to do my bedding. Now I am still very much in love with this bedding. I know I have told you where it's from before, but for those of you who are new here, this is a set from Dunelm Mill and it's called Bridget. I get a lot of questions about it. It's called Bridget from Dunelm Mill and it's lovely. It washes well. It's comfortable and cool, but also warm. It's really nice, and it's not one of those bedding sets that kind of scrunches up underneath you either, or has the duvet scrunch up. So I'm popping the mattress protector back on. I didn't put this on the last time I made the bed, which is very naughty of me. I've usually got it on, but it just would not dry. I don't know why that particular time it was having none of it. I don't know if perhaps I used a little bit too much fabric softener in the wash load when I washed it or something. It was not drying at all. So I've been able to put it back on now, and I have reinstated the electric blanket because I don't know about you guys where you are, but we have like these weeks where it's scorchingly hot and the thought of a blanket is just too much. And then it drops down to drastically cold to the point where you're shivering and you can't sleep. So I took my electric blanket off a little bit prematurely. So it's back on now, and I'll probably just leave it on, to be fair. I'll give it a wash every couple of weeks or whatever. But yeah, I think I'm going to keep it on for the time being because we're still getting those chilly, chilly nights. And we're in June now. You know, we shouldn't be getting the chilly nights anymore. So I'm just giving my bedroom a little bit of a dust today. It doesn't need all that much. It doesn't really need hoovering. I did that the other day. So it's pretty much just a little bit of a dust. Wash the bedding. I'm going to come and make the bed back with that same bedding tonight once it's washed. I didn't get a chance to film that, and it wouldn't have been a pretty picture anyway. Me and my nightie trying to make my bed, getting frustrated with it because it takes forever to make this bed. So I didn't bother to film it. But yes, it got washed, it got dried, and it got put on that same day back again because I'm just in love with it at the moment. So my desk has been taken over by my youngest in this video. She is very, very talented with her painting and her drawing, and she likes to just sit and do a little bit of painting, a little bit of drawing very, very often. And so she's kind of taken over my desk a little bit here with her stuff. Because she didn't have any space downstairs to do it, and it's kind of just gotten forgotten about and left on my desk. So I'm just going to clear that off now, and I'm going to give the desk a little bit of a tidy up because I knew that I was going to be doing this voiceover that I'm currently doing and I knew that I would want the space. I'm also going to be editing another couple of videos to get myself ahead so that you guys don't miss out on anything when I do start working full time. I'm really hoping that I can keep up my uploads to kind of 2 a week, and I'm also going to be trying to do some kind of member only videos. I don't have my members section set up yet, but when I do have those videos ready, I will set up the member section. It will be nice and cheap. It's not going to be extortionate money, but it's just going to be a little bit more kind of behind the scenes vlog style video. I'm just going to pick up the camera each day or a few times a week and just do little vlogs of what I'm doing and what I'm up to for those of you who are interested in a little bit more of kind of lifestyle, general daily things that I'm getting up to, and little kind of sneaky peeks at videos that are going to be coming up. So that will be something I'm doing very, very soon. Like I say, I'm going to keep the membership very, very cheap. Maybe just a couple of pounds a month, something like that. And hopefully, if I can keep up the momentum, you'll have like an extra video each week that's kind of like a members only perk. And those videos will not be released to the public. They will be members only and they will remain members only. So if you're interested in that, do keep an eye out. I will put a post up when I do have those videos ready, detailing how you can join as a member, and the money from the members will just go into kind of maintaining the channel, keeping everything going, making sure my equipment's okay and gets fixed and things like that when it needs it. And yeah, it's just going to go straight back into the channel, so don't worry, I'm not stuffing it in my pockets and running. It will go straight back into the channel. I'm really getting close to monetization now as well, which I'm so excited about. I like making these videos anyway, and I probably would continue even if I wasn't ever monetized, but I like the idea of getting some money from AdSense and kind of reinvesting that back into projects around the house that I can then kind of film for you and vlog for you, and kind of interesting things, especially with Christmas coming up. I'd really love to do some little gift guides and things like that. I think that would be so much fun. And if I've got even a little bit of money coming in from the channel being monetized and from members, that would be really awesome and really help me to get some good tasty little videos out there at Christmas time. So the last little bit that I'm going to be getting on with today is the stairs and the landing. They want dusting and they want hoovering. I did move a massive pile of laundry that was at the bottom of the stairs. I did that silly thing that mums do sometimes when we get a little bit ahead of ourselves and leave stuff on the stairs for people to take up, and then it never gets taken up. Yeah, that happened to me this week, and there was a huge pile about 4 foot high of laundry and blankets and towels and things that I was kind of hoping people would take up, and they never did. So I've cleared that. I'm just giving everything a dust, I'm giving everything a hoover, and I will come up and just mop the floor in the toilet and the bathroom, and then that will be it, all ready for the workmen to come in tomorrow without having to trip over all our junk. And so I can sit and do some lovely content planning in my pretty little notebooks, so that you guys can have some content planned and ready to film when I do start my next week. I hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. Keep your eye out for that members section coming up soon, and I will see you in the next one. Have a great day, guys. Bye.